Like,
All right, so here we are. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Vibrant Aging Now. I'm your host and Vibrant Aging expert, Julianne Wutke. So today, our guest is Leah Johnson, also known as Ginger. Now, I met Leah not too long ago, just a few weeks ago, really, at a business meeting, and it was mentioned that she did laughter yoga and I thought to myself, I have to know more about that. So we had a conversation and I said, you know what, not just me, but maybe other people are new to the idea of laughter yoga, want to know more. And I asked if she would be our guest on the interview show. She said, yeah, yes. So all works great for me. So laughter yoga was new to me. I'm sure a lot of other people had not ever heard of it before, but has been around a while, apparently. Now, how did you come to know about laughter yoga?
well, I came to learn about laughter yoga. I did a little bit of research, but I also was introduced to it by one of my meditation teachers who had said, you know, your laughter is pretty contagious. You might want to try this group. And so as I was researching it, and he was also researching it, my meditation teacher is Lama Lar, and he had said, "Yeah, they're a legit company, so you ought to go try to work with them." And I flew to India, and then it just unfolded from there. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I know you are a multi-talented teacher and practitioner. What other modalities do you use to help people?
Okay, so I also study NLP, and I'm also a massage therapist, and like you said, multi-talented, do Qigong energetics. So when I am working with people in laughter yoga, we also tune into our energy and our intentions with each other and how we're showing up and how emotionally and energetically, whatever's going on, we have the opportunity to shift it
Mm,
to we're responsible for our own emotions. And so as you're laughing with a group of people, you can feel this endorphins and the energy that's around it. And then as you're with people doing that, you can also I tune them into each other's energy. Like, okay, we'll do a back-to-back laughter. And when you do back to back, there's this intention to connect to each other's hearts and send more joy and love to each other through this particular practice. So I also help people kind of in the sense of reframing things because there's a opportunity to always complain, and what we complain about, we'll find more reasons to complain about. Yeah. But if you find an opportunity to turn what you see in front of you into a learning situation or other possibility situation, okay, this is what's showing up, but what are the other possibilities? Or this is what's showing up, and what have I learned from this? Can I learn something beneficial to help me in the future? So using some reframing even when we're doing our laughter, because one of the practices we do is like pay your bills. Nobody really cares to do that, right? It's like our taxes. But if you bring the intention of like, I'm so joyful that I can do this, I have the abundance to do this, then you're not fretting about it as much as recognizing that if you haven't tapped into those resources, they are possible. It's a possibility to tap into. And I'm just going to add one more thing to your first question is that one of the reasons I went into laughter yoga was because I wanted to rediscover my joy coming from a place of divorce and real deep depression. It was
yeah,
not an easy space
yeah,
to get out of. Yeah.
yeah,
So this has been my journey to unfold even more to help others find return to their joy and their happiness. Yeah.
yeah. Well, and you know what? I asked about other modalities first because I know one thing that I looked on your website, like I'm going to put in the show notes for our audience, but I was trying to wrap my head around just what was laughter yoga. So if you could say, and like keep it as if somebody just asked you and you had maybe 15 or 30 seconds to say what it was, what would you say about what is laughter yoga?
It's a joyful exercise practice that allows you to let go of stress, return to happiness, allow playfulness to return to your system, and body. And it has the yogic practices of breathing like pranayama and yoga nidra, like just to calm the center and the body. But the whole intention is to bring about and exercise your joy.
That's great. Yeah. And I'm imagining that, I mean, do you have to know yoga, or do you need to know anything if you're going to practice laughter?
The one thing you do need to know is that you can let go.
Okay. Okay, I like that. So you don't really have to know anything. No one's going to be doing any like if they've never practiced yoga before, there's not a requirement for that. Is that correct? Right.
This
So
is
if
not
you're
your traditional, sit on the cushion. I mean, this is not your traditional asanas. Uh, it's no, the laughter yoga is more about being playful. There's a lot more improv. There's a lot more joy in this practice because you are doing exercises and movements with your body, and you're adding ho ho ha ha ha's with every exercise you do. And it's intentional because your body can't tell the difference between a fake laugh and a real laugh. And so you're
Yeah.
intentionally allowing your body to feel, oh, hey, I can kick in these endorphins and chemicals and good hormones because you're doing something that reminds me of when I feel happy. So that's a practice. That's why this practice is exercise. We are moving our body. We're doing different shapes and sounds. That's why I say letting go is what you need to know, because people will be reserved, especially if they're new to it. They're like, I don't quite get this. But when you start to let go and you just allow the joy to come out through the practice of it, the body just knows what to do at that point, and it starts letting go and releasing all these great hormones. So you don't need to know how to do asanas. You don't need to know how to do any pranayamic breathing, excuse me. You just need to know that you can receive, let go, and share your joy. Because when one person laughs, it tends to be contagious to help the other person laugh. And if you're having a hard time and one person's ha ha ha, and you go, oh, that person snorted, ha ha ha, you get an even more joyful experience. And that's what I mean by you need to know you can let go, because it's not about what you look like. It's about how you play and let go.
Oh, that sounds great. Yeah, you brought up a really, really great point about, you know, if you sometimes when we just make the expression of smiling, it actually makes us happier. Weirdly enough, it's not like you're lying to yourself, but honestly, you made the point of your brain doesn't really understand if it's spontaneous or you're doing it on purpose. It just knows,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this is happening to me physically. And then you tend to go through the same, body experiences that you have when it was spontaneous. So um,
Right,
that's
right.
great.
And the mirror neurons is something that is a natural effect for all of us. Babies do this. We do this when a baby coos and smiles. We just can't help but do the same for the majority of us. And it's the same with even adults and being playful with laughter. When you start seeing somebody just really getting into it, you're like, wow, I think I'm getting into it too.
That's right. It's a lot.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the things that's so fun about being in a group of people laughing, like an audience laughing, or in a comedy club, or watching a funny show with someone else. It's a lot
Mhm.
funnier if someone is with you.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
and you brought up a point, because for healthy aging, actually, it's really important for us to laugh more, because the older we get, the less we tend to laugh.
Is that
And
right?
yes,
Wow.
research is out there. Even if you go to Laughter Yoga International, they have this research out there where they have looked at, as children, at babies, starting from babies, they laugh like thousands of times a day. Then you get into these teenage years, and it's like maybe if you're lucky, a couple times a day. And then if you're an adult, like maybe a couple hundred times a day, depends on the peer group, etc. But if you're an adult, it's like maybe if you're lucky, once a week
Wow.
as you get older. And that's one of the reasons why we want to practice laughing every day, because it boosts our immune system. It allows our mental capacity to be clear, so we can actually think more clearly when we're in a happier mood. Our immune system is functioning on a much higher level when we're in a happier mood. There are a lot of great benefits. Your heart cortisol level drops when you're in a happier mood. So if you're in a happier mood and a better state and you laugh at least 10 minutes a day, you're decreasing those stress hormones and you're increasing the good mood, the positive hormones, but also like the serotonin that you need. Like people who are depressed tend to, I've heard this from at least 3 people in my group so far. People who are depressed, they practice laughter for at least 10 minutes every day and they got off antidepressants. I'm not saying you should, but I'm saying that get under a doctor's care. Don't just cold turkey anything. But their practice of laughing every day kicked in that serotonin. They don't need to take that pill anymore because they already got it. They just made it themselves. So there's so many, like I said, great benefits of practicing. You become what you practice. And so if you're becoming joyful, your body responds that way.
I love that. And our audience is going to love this because they always hear me, talking to people and mentioning it myself about how stress makes a huge negative impact on our society and on us as individuals. And it inhibits our ability to think clearly. It affects us physiologically. It just creates a mess, whether it's the chronic stress or the big stressors that just happen to humans as they go about their lives. Either one, it's just makes a huge negative impact on us. So I love the idea of you can make yourself happy, and it tends to give you more clarity, I think. And of course, reducing your stress helps everything in your life. So I love that. And that actually, it almost answers my question. I was just going to say, if, who benefits most from laughter yoga, but it sounds like pretty much anybody, especially the stressed out community, which is like all of us.
I would say I've worked with so many different groups of people that really just about anybody. There's laughter yoga for deaf, for Down syndrome, like all the way up to depressed. And then even I've had the experience of working with people who were refugees or in war zones. And I laughed with them, not because the situation was funny. It's not funny to be in a war zone, but I can tell you that I worked with these people because they told me the only time I feel normal is after I've laughed. I'm in a stressful place. The bombs are flying everywhere, but I only feel normal after I've laughed. At least I have a window, a 1 hour window where I don't, all this other stuff goes away. And it was same when I worked with the children in Ukraine, and the feedback from the teachers was like, this is helping the kids. So even in the most stressful, I mean, we think we have stress. I don't know what I can't fathom what it's like to be in those kind of situations, but I can say the relief that they spoke about was heartwarming. It was like, well, who else can we help? Who else can receive this? So I'd say just about anybody can benefit from it.
Yeah, it hadn't occurred to me about those very dire situations as well. So, but I hear what you're saying. That is great. That's such a great tool for people. So I was going to ask you I know you work with people one-on-one in person. Can you work with anyone? Can you help anybody virtually or any other way?
I do both. Well, I almost do it all, but I do one-on-one, I do virtual. Yes, I work with people virtually with laughter yoga or laughter coaching is what I would call it, because in a laughter one-on-one, I would really want to be doing more of the coaching style of it to find out, where are you stuck? Where are you stuck? Because we're going to bring some more joy into these places and break free from those chains. But yes, I do one-on-one personally, and I do one-on-one virtually as well as group. So I do it both ways. Yes.
That's great. I love that. So if somebody were intrigued, like I was, about laughter yoga, or see that there might be some benefits there for themselves or someone they love, how do they find out more about you?
Okay. Well, you can email me at ginger.joy.johnson@gmail.com. You can find me on livingjoywisdom.com. And then also, if you're in the Bay Area, you're welcome to a free laughter event on Saturdays where I want people to have the opportunity to have that experience of being together and cultivating more joy in our community. So on Saturdays, there's a 10 a.m. in Monterey. We do a full hour of just laughing until you feel better.
I love that. Yeah, that's great. And I hope nobody was frantically scribbling or paused the video when you mentioned all those ways they can, because I am going to put all of Leah's contact information in the show notes for our audience, just so they know how to contact you. And I think that's pretty much it. Anything, we're about at the end of our time here. Anything else you'd like to add?
I just want to thank you for the
Oh,
opportunity to share with you. And I love the work that you're doing in this world. So I welcome the collaboration and more health, wealth, and happiness for all, really. So
oh, thank you
thank
for that.
you.
And thanks
Thank
for,
you.
I see that you've got that short window of time. That is why she's doing this interview from the cockpit of her car.
Because I'm going to the thing that's next.
There you go. And I want to thank our guest, Leah Johnson, also known as the Laughing Ginger. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure and click like and share with others. Otherwise, I want to thank you to our audience for watching Vibrant Aging Now. And until next time, this is your host, Julianne. Thank you.
Thank you, Julianne.